Another day, another dollar. Work ain't gonna stop me from giving this review. Alright, let's get into it. It's Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 2, Episode 13. So we start off with Destiny at the photo shoot for the hairstyle magazine that Leah from Married to Medicine is now owner of. We meet Destiny's dad for the first time. You know, Destiny doesn't tell us nothing about her real self, so I'm surprised she revealed her dad. But that's interesting because later on we find out more things about her. Then the dad cries. He's so proud of her and he's so happy that she gets to be the cover of this magazine, which, I mean, proud dad. Then Tisha comes in and they discuss how Tiffany is so inappropriate and all the things she's done and how she doesn't even listen when you call her out, which that's fair. The Destiny is like, well, she's always talking about I'm transparent, but she's not really transparent about herself. And I'm like, Destiny, you had a whole divorce on the show, and we did not see the timeline, the story about why you got a divorce. You still wouldn't even talk about why you got a divorce. So, transparency, girl, look in the mirror. Then we get to 4:30. Sorry, I'm in the hospital. Then we get to Martell being just a trash human. So remember when Chris went to Melody and is like, oh, you're the one to build his license, 47 acres, blah, blah, blah. And Melody is like, oh, go to Martell first because he's going to feel some kind of way. Well, Martell is literally trying to take food off his own children's table, which I'm like, bro, really, dude? I don't know what she saw in him. Then we find out more crap about him later in the show. So he ambushes Marceau because Marceau has a builder's license. Why he won't just go get one, I have no idea. Like, study and take the exam and get your builder's license. But anyway, he brings Marceau into this. Doesn't tell Chris that Marceau is invited. Doesn't tell Marceau Chris is invited. So they all kind of meet each other and they discuss a lot. Marceau being, smart, saying, this is gonna be drama since you and Melody are still like fighting like cats and dogs. And he's all like, no, this is a good thing. I could get over it. And Chris is naive talking about this is gonna be professional. If it was gonna be professional, he would have brought his wife with the builder's license and say, girl, let's put everything, the divorce behind us. This is about generational wealth for our kids. But I guess this is a reality show. We shall see. Then he brings up the fact that he and Melody stay arguing, but he didn't divulge the part that well, he did divulge about that. He was the one that kind of started them arguing because if Melody told Chris to tell you, obviously she's being open, then you go crazy on her. But he did divulge that. Maybe he did go crazy and he didn't know. Then Tiffany and Destiny squashed the beef. We find out Destiny was raised in foster homes, apparently. So her mom was a drug addict or is a drug addict, so she did not raise her. So Destiny has kind of like issues pertaining to that. Then Tiffany is a mixed race kid that her biological parents didn't raise. But then she didn't find out she was adopted till much later in her life, and it was a neighbor that told her. And I'm just like, what kind of trash box is this? Either way, they connect on that, and they both like kind of squash the beef, and Tiffany gives a really good, respectable apology. I think it was heartfelt. Then Destiny's still being kind of shady, and I'm like, girl, stop it. Talking about, she's back to this whole, oh, you're transparent. Are you really basically saying Tiffany is not as transparent as she claims to be? But Tiffany has been here for 2.5 seconds. This is Destiny's, I think, second or third season with us, and we still don't know much about her. We don't know who she's dating. She just comes to couples trips and kind of hangs out. We have no personal information. She had a son, which I guess she couldn't hide because she was literally pregnant on the show. But yeah, it's not like she's telling us a whole bunch of stuff. So for her to accuse someone of the same thing is kind of ludicrous. Anyways, so let me see, where am I? So Mel meets with Chris in the office, and Chris is like, yeah, I had an ambush meeting with Martell and Marceau. And she's like, really? He was like, he didn't know Marceau was going to be there. And we find out Marceau didn't know he was going to be there. But he tells him, like, basically, Martell invited Marceau because Marceau has a builder's license. And Melody is, like, thrown off, like, I have a builder's license. We share 4 kids. Why would you want to take money off your kid's table? Especially last episode, we found out he wasn't even paying school fees. Like, Martell is... God have mercy. How did Melody do this for this long? Like, women, we need to work on self-love. Like, self-love is very important. Like, this man is a trash box. He doesn't care about his kids. He just flaunts them because he wants you to think he cares. Because this is how you know someone that cares. There's this big opportunity for us to build for our kids' future wealth. And then because you're not getting along with the mom, you take it away from the kids. Like, make it make sense. Especially when the mom even brought you in. They initially didn't even come to him because he didn't have a builder's license, so he was pointless to them. But here we are. And Melody is just like, wow, I was literally married to a snake. Melody is like so flabbergasted by this whole thing. But that is Martell for you. Then Martell goes to meet Maurice because Maurice helps with credit scores. That's part of his business as well as being a lawyer. We find out his credit is in the gutter because he needs Maurice's help to bring his credit up so he could get loans for this new project, which I don't even know why they need him because he has no builder's license. I doubt the workers work. I don't know. Like, Martell is just go away. So then we find out he's bankrupt as well. I'm like, oh my God, Melody was literally carrying this man on her shoulder. Like, what's the entire hell? Like, what did he do for her? I really want to know. Like, she left, he has no money, he's bankrupt, his credit score is bad, he has a side baby. What did she get out of this marriage? I want to know. And he still cheats on her. Again, women work on self-love. Then he ends with Tisha's therapy. I was kind of happy that she went to therapy by herself because, I mean, she needs it for one. Then we find out that apparently her and Marceau got married because she was pregnant, which explains so much because he acts like he's doing her a favor, and I guess that's how they probably started the relationship. Like, don't worry, I'll make you an honest woman by marrying you so that you're not like a baby mom. And she grew up with a single mom. Her mom grew up with a single mom. And she tells us, like, they never said they loved, like, her mom and grandma never said, I love you to the kids. That their way of love was, like, not physical touch, like, gifts and just, like monetary type things that, you know, which is a way of love, too. I'm not knocking it. But she felt like she never really knew what love is. So I guess whatever Marceau gave her made her feel something that she felt like she hadn't felt. But you could tell that she's not happy because she says she never even planned to be married or pregnant. That life kind of happened. And she's kind of reflecting like, is this even what I want? Which is it's a good thing she's reflecting now because she's still young enough to change it if this is not the trajectory. Not change it like she can't kill her kids, but if Marceau is not the one for her, she still has time to do that. She didn't wake up 65 years old or 70 years old. Not that you can't change stuff then, you can, but now she can really alter her destiny. Like, yeah, stuff happened, you were young, and when you're young, like, you can't really, as much as, yes, you're sexually active and stuff, you're not making the smartest or best decisions for yourself. But it was very really revealing. You could see the sadness in her eyes. You could tell that the whole trip and him not wanting to renew the vows on camera kind of pissed her off. Which begs to, you know, I was watching Keisha Irvin on Calling Me Pink, and she was saying that maybe he didn't do it because his side woman would be like, well, you said you're just staying with her for the babies. That makes you think about that because to me, it wasn't a big deal. Like, even if it was just a play thing, it's for the show. Like, this is something so small. Why couldn't you give it to her? But that's Marceau for you. Controlling. I just pray Tisha finds herself and it's not too late. And she's not just living in this miserable bubble just to be Southern or to fulfill some kind of wifely duties because she seemed so unhappy. But I'm happy she's talking to someone, though. That's it for my review. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Bye.